G'day, this is Central Coast Newspapers Weekly News, 5 at 5 for the first week of March 2023, now in a new podcast format. In the bulletin this week, local skier wins World Championship medals, council's administrator under real pressure, state election promises just keep coming, Mariners A-League women's coach appointed, autumn gardening news, and Chef Daniel's Turkish delights. This podcast has been supported by iFix Electronics of Erina. Phones, tablets and computers. Just call 1300 113 522. Talk to Ben. He's the data recovery specialist. Now last week it was surfer Molly Picklum on the world stage. This week Central Coast mogul skier Matt Graham has taken 2 medals for Australia at the 2023 FIS World Championships in Buccarini, Georgia. Graham took a silver medal on January 25, followed up by a bronze on January 26, becoming just the second Australian to ever win 2 medals at an FIS World Championships. Graham has collected an impressive 4 World Championship medals in his career, and he's still going, doing the coast proud. Now, Central Coast Council Administrator Rick Hart and his executive team have been under real pressure this week for a monster council meeting on Tuesday. Development application processing times have blown out to on average 122 days. So we asked the question to Administrator Hart, what's happening?
In the last few months we have been processing more DAs than we've been receiving, and bear in mind that we in fact have the highest number of DAs of any council in the state to process.
And another major council-owned car park, this time in Woy Woy, has been slated for sale and locals are not happy. We spoke with local MP Liesl Tesh.
I'm joined today by Matt Wales, who's the President of the Peninsula Chamber of Commerce, Mari Andrews, former member for Gosford and for Pete's, and Michael Wilder from the Peninsula Residents Association. All of us are very concerned about Council's lack of community consultation and the future sell-off of this really important car park.
And in breaking news, Mr Hart has now put the sale on hold until at least after the election. Now, with the state elections only 3 weeks away, the parties and candidates are rolling out their programs and promises if they form government after March 25. Local and regional roads, sporting fields, surf clubs, public transport are all among the waterfall of commitments flowing now into the public realm. And to the joy of health staff, patients and their families, local hospital parking will become free, following the announcements by the New South Wales government to come in line with the Labor Party's commitment to scrap parking fees at hospitals. Now, for full election commitments, candidates and details, head over to our website's dedicated election section. Now, Central Coast Mariners have announced that Emily Husband has been appointed to the club's A-League women's head coach position, signing on for a multi-year deal. Husband is the current head coach for Sydney University's soccer football club and last year won the New South Wales NPL 1 Coach of the Year.
You know, I'm somebody who's so incredibly passionate about the game and I want to bring that passion and excitement to the Central Coast.
Now, the Mariners are due to enter the National A-League competition later this year. Here's what's happening in autumn gardening news.
I'm Sherilyn Darcy and this is the Gardening News. The Bonsai Open, hosted by the Central Coast Bonsai Club, is on Saturday the 4th and Sunday the 5th of March at the Mingara Event Centre. Permi Kids, nature-based activities in the garden for 8 to 12-year-olds, is on in Kilcare on Wednesday afternoons from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. For more information and bookings, contact Anna on 0407 591 278. The Australian Plant Society Central Coast March meeting features Samantha Newton, who'll be talking about bush tucker and gardening responsibly. The meeting is on at 1:30 p.m. on Saturday the 11th of March at Phillip House, 21 Old Penang Road, Carryong.
All of this week's 42 local stories can be found on our local news website, coastcommunitynews.com.au, and in this week's newspaper, out now on Thursdays. Listen to our bulletins on local radio 93.3 FM every day, or find us on your mobile phones, Google News and Apple News apps. And of course, you can follow our socials for updates. We leave you this week with a taste of Turkey, or Turkey, as it is natively now known, thanks to Mariners goalkeeper Yaron Souza and celebrity chef Daniel of Gosford's Baker Street Cafe and Restaurant.
One of the greats at the Central Coast Mariners, Yaron Souza. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Mate, absolute pleasure having you here in the studio, and I can't wait to cook a little bit about Turkish food, which is where you're from.
Yep.
Now, the full recipe is in this week's paper, or head over to our YouTube channel to get the highly entertaining Studio Kitchen program. I'm David Abrahams for Central Coast Newspapers. Have a great weekend, and thanks again for tuning in.